Hello everyone, this is the Good Captain. Welcome to another Let's Play campaign series, Rising Sun. This is the linked campaign game, Fall of the Philippines, mission number 3, and this one is titled, oops, The Americans Take a Stand. This is just the following day in terms of time since the last scenario, and this is only an 8 hex range because of squalls, which is apparently the reason we don't have air cover. And this one already looks tough. I mean, I don't want to tell you how much time I've sat here looking at the map and studying this thing, but this. I don't know if you want to call it a stream or a river, but there is a deep water. There are deep water sections to this water obstacle, and there are shallow water sections. So the points at which we can cross have no fords. They're merely areas that are shallow enough to cross. There's this weird drop in elevation hex. You don't ask me how this how this works. That a stream going up and then down again. At any rate, we can see some fortifications. You got mines here on the objective right across the bridge. Go figure. We can also see that there are obvious fortified hexes which likely have enemy in them, and this is where it gets weird or interesting. So we notice that with this company, we can see all to our front, but now if you come over here to the marsh area, notice we can't see really anything. So the reason we can see this at all is because of this lower elevations, the single hex of lower elevation. I don't know if that was it almost seems like an error in the design, but okay, fine. We can see one space there, and I'll hit the 4 key because there's an elevation change. You can't really see it here either. But anyway, the lighter hexes are all higher elevation, and then this medium green hex color is the next lower elevation, and then the dark green at the top is. So we're dealing with basically 3 elevations. There is a higher elevation here, a 4th level elevation, but it's not going to be of consequence, at least not that I can see. So before we get into it, the thing to notice here is that the takeaway is that we really can't see anything from back here. This side again, we've got it. Okay, I can see that these are the 3 fortifications to our front, but here only 1 unit can see this thing. Only 2 hexes here, right down the column, can see this. We can't see anything else in this area, like at all. So the first thing we want to do is get eyes on as many hexes as we can. And after studying the battlefield, there are two areas that I'm going to put eyes in to put eyes on their line at a safe-ish distance. And that's this village hex here. Notice we can see a lot of stuff here. And then this space, oh whoops, and this space here, because between these two, we can see down this entire row of palm trees. We can see down this entire line of village hexes. What we can't see is, this area over here is pretty much just completely blind until we cross. Except for maybe this hex here. We can put somebody here maybe, just to see a little bit far out there. Anyway, the enemy is very close and we can't see him. And that's because of these marsh hexes, and this is the last thing I'll talk about before we start pushing pieces. We've got to cross these marsh hexes. Excuse me, marsh hexes, and the morale, you get a morale knock by moving in there. I'm not too worried about concealment. It costs a lot of, for most units, it costs a lot of, well, for all units, it costs a lot of action points to move in there. And the morale, you take a knock on morale. So if the enemy shoots at you while you're in there and you have to roll for an effect, it's more likely to be effective. That's if they get an effect on their dice roll, but we do get at least a little bit of TIM, you know, as much as a rice patty, as much as a palm tree hex. So it's not terrible. But anyway, now, why am I talking about all this? There are basically safe hexes that I'm going to stack my troops in until we learn more about what the heck's going on to our front. That's one of the, so this, let me back up. I've got two loner companies on the right flank here. These are not my companies. They're reduced strength, good, well-led companies, okay? So this is there's two here, and then I've got my 4 companies as well. So we've got 6 companies, and most of them, 5 out of the 6 are in this single screen here. This could be crowded, so we're gonna have to maintain a wide front as we advance, or we're gonna be stepping all over each other and vulnerable to artillery strikes. And there's only more stuff coming. We've got an engineer company coming in on potentially turn 3. I've got my inf guns and AT guns, my HQ, and the Hago tanks. So it's going to get more crowded, not less, as we move out, quote unquote, spread out. But there are safe hexes that I need to move these companies to, and because there's so many, I have to be specific. So this company will move to this hex here, just above this palm tree hex, this far right palm tree hex. So this company is going to move here. Oh no, I messed that up. Did I mess that up? Yeah, so this company on the far right moves here, just west of the village. This company moves just above the palm tree hex. They're moving to crossing points. And we're going to do this without fear of being hit by the enemy. This company will move over to this hex here, right between the middle palm tree hex. It's just as long as they're clear, you know, we can't see them yet. But they better be clear. I'm hoping they're clear. It's kind of operating under the assumption. Yeah, we're going to go right into them. Okay. This company here, this is another one of the second one of my original companies, is going to move here to this hex just northeast of this village hex. And then this company, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is the pushing down the main roadway company, but obviously we can't go into the minefield. So they're going to move on the road, and then they'll move here first, just behind the bridge hex, and then decide which of these 2 marsh hexes to go in to cross, either into this flooded rice paddy or into this open ground. So none of this looks great, right? Not really, none of it. The one company that I do like the position of is this one. This one's going to have its objective is going to be to move towards these two fortified locations and destroy them, and then cross both of these streams here, and then push out on the edge of the map all the way up. And the reason I'm saying that is by looking at the map, there's this deep river that just runs the entire length all the way into Ben Alonin. So if we're going to cross, it's got to be here and now. So sorry for taking so long on the introduction. I don't have anything else to say about what I'm thinking, but the first few turns in the scenario are always just so important. You've got to plan it, and if you don't plan it real well, it can turn into a mess and make it less fun to play. So really, you can't take too much time planning at the beginning. Even though no good plan survives first contact with the enemy, you should still do it because you will get real intimate with the terrain and the map and the situation, and you'll realize more and more things the longer you sit there and plan and stare at it. So I'm leaving out a lot of other stuff that I feel like I quote-unquote noticed, but I'll bring it up as if it becomes relevant as we go through the scenario. So first up, we're going to move these ATR platoons, and the first one I'm going to do is this guy here, and we're going to double time him. And we are going to move him we'll move him to the open ground here. So unless there's a machine gun team here, this should be... I don't think there's anything here because I think we would have seen it. So we'll go 2, 3. Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so we've been shot at by our first enemy, and let's see. Do I have my book up? No. So we're gonna pull the unit manual. What? There. Rising Sun, United States. Okay, I'll put this on a little pause so you don't have to watch me do this. You know what I'm doing if you saw my first video. I've got to ID this guy, so be right back. Yo, I'm back. So this is actually a light machine gun section, and yeah. So this is actually, well, here, let me show you the comparison. So the armor the anti-tank values are the same at the same range, but this is pretty significantly different, and I'll tell you why. They're pretty effective at, similar effectiveness at range 1, 2, 3, and 4. A little bit weaker, obviously, by a point in every column after adjacent hex range, then 2, 3, and 4 is just 1 point less. The LMG does not have a 5th hex range, so the best we can hope for is to bait shots at 4 hexes at 4 firepower. So this is, in my opinion, more lethal, at least, or it might be better said, harder to deal with, because this is going to be tougher to bait, or more risky to bait a shot from. But in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, we managed to weather that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I hope there's not too many more of these. If there are, we're gonna be in some deep trouble. Okay, now the other ATR platoon. Again, it's probably going to take a while to get going in these scenarios. The beginning of every scenario, in my opinion, should take a longer time. And then it should speed up towards the end. And that's just because you should go slow and plan and be careful. It's easier to race to the end than race in the beginning. So we'll take this anti-tank rifle and we're going to move him straight ahead 2 hexes. Namely because we can see some hexes over here that this guy can't. Yeah, so here we go. Nobody shoots at me, so this is good. Okay, and of course we're going to need a turn for them to send us back information about what they see, but that's okay because now we're going to move our companies to one more ATR rifle platoon to move. Actually, this doesn't matter at all. Okay, we're going to start with our loner companies because it's not that we don't care about them, but they're more expendable. So we're going to start with the least unit mission essential, least mission essential units first. So here we go. Let's just move our ATR platoons first, just as a good habit. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So 3 crossing points for 3 companies. Straight ahead. Okay, yeah. Okay. Here? No. Oh, okay. That was... Should not have... Boy, yeah. Gotta remember to control where my units are going and what they're doing. Because apparently there's no machine gun here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. It would have been a beautiful shot if he had done it. Okay. Keep moving. Okay. I'm just double timing them and pushing them towards their crossing points. Now I am an overstack, or risk the overstack here, but again, this is as far as I can see, is a safe area. So, and I'm also going to take this opportunity to move the headquarters up. Okay, now I saved these machine gun teams for last because I need to find out what they'll do if I double time. So be right back. Yo, I'm back, and yeah, this guy will go into the village. This guy will go into the far rice paddy. Okay. So that's 2 loaner companies and 1 of my companies. Oh, just forgot this guy. So we want to get out of this column. So yeah, next turn we should have pretty good, I mean, argument for a smoke right there. But I don't know what good it would do. It's just going to shut down vision for a turn. We're not going to move under it. There's mines and this. Yeah, this is a this is a very tough natural barrier, and depending on how extensive or populated this defensive line is, this could be a really tough opening. So we'll see. Okay, next. You're gonna move down here. Here. Little pause while I do some more math on movement. Okay, I'm back. There's no point in double timing, I think. Yeah. So I'm gonna move here, and we'll move here. Okay. And these units will move. Yep. They're gonna move to their staging area here. Okay, yeah, so we really stuffed this hex. Really stuffed it. If the enemy shot at it, it would really hurt. But again, it's very, very safe. So that terrain cuts both ways. We're going to try to take advantage of it, and this is one of the ways which we're trying to take advantage of it. Okay, so oh, did I close it? No, there it is. So I'm going to remove the heavy machine gun platoon for the moment. I want to do a comparison of my own unit, my own machine gun again. I want to pause it real quick again. Sorry for all the pauses. Yo, I'm back. So my machine gun sections are, of course, a point lower than their light machine gun sections. So there is an argument for getting at range 4 and just using the fact that I have two more. I was thinking about what to do with these guys. I don't know if we're going to be very relevant, but anyway, they'll just, for the time being, they move up. Okay, and now we bring on the reinforcements. is the headquarters section. And I'm going to, in preparation for what I might or might not do, I'm going to assign my commanding officer, Major Ishihara, to these two machine gun sections. And, yeah, if we need to get into a shooting match, this might be the best way to do it. I wouldn't be able to do it next turn, but on turn 3, if this guy is still there, these two machine guns, at least by sheer quantity and leadership, might be able to suppress this guy. I don't know. It's going to be kind of a tough thing to do. And then finally, this headquarters. 1, 2, 3. You'll move. Just up 1 space for the time being. Okay, and then finally we get to this flank, and this is a little bit different. There's no swamps, or marshes, excuse me, it's a marsh, right? Yeah. There's no marshes to hinder my movements. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, this is what I don't like this. I don't really have any options here. This ATR platoon, just to get out, could potentially draw fire from a heavy. Whoops. Okay, good. Let's see if I can repair that. As a slip of the mouse. Just I'll be right back again. Yeah, so we can still get to where we need to, just by double timing. I want to get to this hex, this rice paddy. And how much is 2 rice paddies? 76? 57. Okay, so we'll be able to use both rice paddies. 1. Here we go. Drum roll. Nothing. Interesting. Maybe it's empty. Okay. Hmm. 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, the next will be this guy. Double time. You will go here. Ooh. Okay. This is a Philippine Army rifle platoon. So I'll bring this up really quickly. A Philippine Army rifle platoon is identical to the Cav platoons that we've been fighting. Okay, so oh sorry, that's part of it. I was like, what's going on with these Cav platoons? American dummy. I'll put another pause, be right back. Yo, I'm back. Now, the comparison, here's the Cav and here's the Philippine Army Rifle Platoon. So notice they're identical. Although not by statistics, their assault and defense values are different. Fire cost is a little different. Some of the other things. The Philippine Army Rifle Platoon is actually better at assault, better in defense. So we'll have to take that into account. Okay, I'll leave them both up there on the board for now, but important to know your enemy. So, that's probably all that's there, since that's the second unit that's moved now. We want to stay at range 3 for the moment. 1, 2. Yeah, these guys really are going to have not very much, or not any support here, so. Yep, we're just going to move up. Move up. Move here. Yeah, so we're out of range of the machine gun over here, and we're setting up to do just frontally assault this position as best we can next turn. So let's cycle through our units. That was easy, really. Yeah, okay, everybody's moved. Reinforcements have been brought on. Opportunity fire, there's none. No airstrikes. Do we want smoke? We have 3 batteries. Do we want smoke? No, we don't. Not even here on this machine gun. This is too close to this river crossing. This is not a situation in which I like to use smoke. So we want to cause damage or disruptions. And we want to do this on known enemy units. So we're going to drop 1, 2, yeah, 3 here, and 1, 2, 3 here. Yeah, I think I'm just going to burn out what I can see. I really want this position next turn, and I want this machine gun team to have some problems next turn. So now we give the enemy its turn and cross our fingers. And already we can see here's a fortification here, or a improved position. Very good. Okay. Disrupted. Okay. Another. Wow. Okay. The machine gun. There was another machine gun team, and it pulled back, and so did the one we were. Huh. Okay. Here's what we were looking for. Our ATR platoon is recovered, which is good. Huh. Yes! Oh! Beautiful hit on the Philippine Army Rifle Platoon. Beautiful hit. Okay. Yeah. We'll do this turn and maybe one more. I don't know. This is already wearing me out. Okay. Let me study the map and we'll be right back. Okay, back for the millionth time. Sorry for all these little pauses, but again, it's just so important the first turn. So, okay, studied the battlefield and realized several things. One, machine gun fired twice and then moved on this paved road. So this thing is very mobile, very lethal, and this isn't actually a terrible position for him. First off, he avoided all my artillery, and second, at 4, 3, 2, 1, he's put this Philippine Army platoon under his protective umbrella. So we're gonna start over here because I have a plan, and I think I'm to eliminate this unit and to stay. Well, there's no real safe way of doing it. I think there's a safer way of doing it, but first things first, we need to move this ATR platoon to bait some shots from this Philippine Army platoon over here. Okay. Okay. 3, 2. And next we're gonna bonsai. Come on. He failed. Oh, it happens. It can happen, it can happen. Okay, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, we just won. So 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. This guy had a 2 hex range. Yeah, so we're still gonna take this guy down. The safest way, unfortunately, to do this is to move this guy here. That's the second shot from that guy. Yeah, that was pretty much, yeah, we had to do. And this guy with the leader will double time. And now I'm second guessing myself, so yet another pause while I make sure that we have enough action points. Yeah, we got enough. So, destroy. Oh, there is a Philippine Army rifle. And he's not disrupted. Come on, he didn't retreat. Didn't get, well, that's the power of these fortifications. So, goodbye. Okay. We are in range of this machine gun, but this might be the best thing we could do. We have fortifications at range 4, so he'll probably dump both of his shots into us. In exchange for that, though, we had to move this unit 2 hexes away, so we'll have to deal with that. And since we already have a unit 2 hexes away, we're going to move this guy into the high ground here. Same terrain effects modifier as the rice paddy at 0.9. Same range. So if we're going to be exposed in the rice paddy, might as well put the screws on him from up top too. And we'll get the machine gun moving in that direction as well. So these guys are done. Now we'll move over to less interesting sections of the battlefield. And first up, this machine gun team here is going to move to this village, and so he can observe some new hexes on the following turn. Actually, I don't think it's going to matter. Let's just do it anyway. Okay. Oh, everybody's fatigued. We can actually cross already. But I think I want, how much artillery do I get? 2 batteries, of course. One's got to be out. We need to support this crossing, and as soon as we cross, we're going to be at 2 hex range. And there's definitely enemy. See, the thing about a village is it's got a -4 for concealment, so even though we haven't seen units in there, it's highly likely that each or some are not occupied. So the question is, do we delay or should we push across? So these 2 village hexes are unknown to us. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1. Maximum range. Okay, Let's take our least mission essential unit and push him into the marsh hex here. Okay. One guy. Next least mission essential unit, go. Huh. Okay. Leader. And we don't want to overstack this hex. 12 strength points is the maximum you want to ever have in a hex, else you're giving your opponent a bonus. Move up. Move up. Okay, and that's the end of this company. Next. This is a 2 hex range situation though, so you will not cross this turn. You will stack up in your safe hex and become non-fatigued. Yeah, just the whole lot of them. Okay. This headquarters only manages these 2 platoons. Or 2 companies. Okay, yeah, well, then I think our semi-permanent spot for a good chunk of this battle will be right in this hex here. Okay, lastly, your crossing point is here at 3 hex range. What can you do? You can cross. You are a headquarters unit though. You can't cross. These are my guys. So I'm going to choose to not cross this turn as well. Namely because, although I could bait a shot out of this guy, if I put a piece of bait there, then the AI is likely to drop, or could drop, artillery on him when I'm bringing the main body of my company across. So we'll hold off on that. And since not crossing on this turn seems to be the order of the day, we will do the same here. Let's stack up. Okay, that leaves us with one final company. I wanted to move these guys here. Yeah, this specially designed machine gun section with leader is going to move right here. This is already safe. The AI likely didn't call a fire mission down on this location because there was no troops here in the turn prior. And it has access to both these hexes next turn and can shoot. So, coming down to the end. Huh. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, we could bait shots. I think we're going to delay one turn. This entire company will stand in its hex. I know it seems like a waste, but that's what we want to do. Yeah, I think we got all the information we can get from these scouts, so they'll return to their companies. Okay. Cycle through. Yes, I know the entire company's stuck there. Oh, reinforcements. Hoggos. Okay. I like the idea of just moving them right in line here with the machine gun teams. Actually, we're gonna cross. Yeah. So we have height advantage from up here if they come out of their entrenchments at us. Huh. Two. I don't think they'll come at us. There's a slight risk here, but we're grouped up. And safety in numbers, there's 9 of us. I don't think we're gonna get assaulted. Huh, yeah, they would get a side armor shot if they... But we have height advantage to those guys. Okay, so this is how we want to be. Okay? Let's just cycle through because it's good practice. Good idea to just keep the same system and then consider artillery, smoke. Yeah, Good question. I'm going to put it on pause while I consider how to bait these shots next turn. Okay. I think I've got it pretty well worked out. So now we're going to call down our artillery. We will not be using smoke. And yeah, all the fire support needs to come. We only have 4 fire missions total. Let's place one here, one here, one here, and one here. Okay, and give the enemy its turn. Yes. Huh. Interesting. Disrupted, and... Oof, Konishi passed his check. Okay, good. Yoshino passed his check. Japanese leaders... Japanese leaders are definitely more exposed than any other regular leader when it comes to being shot at, even when attached to rifle platoons. Okay, we got that disrupted rifle platoon back. That was very helpful. 1 artillery unavailable, and reinforcements. Okay. Oh, I thought we could... So, whoops, we lost... Huh, I didn't realize... Yeah, I guess we lost positive contact on this improved position, and now we see yet another one. So a line of 1, 2, 3, 4 on this lower level. Line of 4 improved positions. We're gonna stop it here for today. I know this wasn't as gripping as the other ones usually are. Not a lot of shooting, but this is a tough natural barrier to cross, and unless these are all empty, this is a well-placed defense. And like I said, I don't know. I don't like to rush in the beginning. I don't mind sprinting towards the end if we need to be a little risky at the end, but not at the beginning. Not until I get everybody the way I want them and I like them on the battlefield. In the beginning, you're kind of organizing things and setting things up for the rest of the battle, and it requires more time. So far so good. Let's take a quick look at the casualties. Victory, we have 12 points, and that's right, because of we wiped out that Philippine Army platoon, and that we haven't done any more damage to anyone else just yet. So see you in the next video. Thank you for watching this. All the best from the good captain, and bye-bye.